Police departments say that the new iPhone is going to be the phone of choice for pedophiles. Now, let's go ahead and just take something that's terrible. Everybody hates pedophiles, right? So why don't we just go ahead and use that to say, well, we don't like the way that Apple makes it so we can't get into people's phones. Well, you know what? You got no right to be in my phone. And that's really what it comes down to. Stay the hell out of my phone. There's no reason for you to be in there. Ever. Right? And if I don't want to give up my passcode, if I don't want to give up my security, screw you. How about you get smarter? How about you catch people doing bad stuff that doesn't have to involve their phone? Stay the heck out of my phone. Out of my computer, out of my technology, out of my life. Right? If I don't like, if I'm jaywalking, great. Give me a ticket for jaywalking. Don't touch my damn phone. It makes me so mad that they're going to say, well, let's just use some fear factor, right? Mm-hmm. Because everybody hates those darn pedophiles. Well, let's just go ahead and say, well, you know what, Apple? We don't like what you're doing because pedophiles are going to use it. They're saying it's hindering their investigations into pedophiles because they can't get into the phone. They're saying, well, you know, we need a back door. We need a way to decrypt these phones. We need a way to make sure that we can get into these things. You think the police departments don't have more juice than they should have already? I mean, really? They shouldn't be able to kick down a door because somebody used Twitter. All right? They shouldn't be able to say, well, I'm going to come in here with a SWAT team, right, just because I think that you might be doing something wrong. I mean, there was some scary statistic about how many times that the police had kicked down doors and shot people, and it turned out they were at the wrong house. Why do they have that power at all? The United States says that I have a whole bunch of freedoms. It says that I have a whole bunch of liberties that are protected by the government. The cops aren't supposed to be doing anything that's outside of their jurisdiction. Their jurisdiction stops at my sidewalk, right? That means that get the heck off of my property. There needs to be a very kind of violent return back to Mayberry, right? I mean, there should be just some cop walking around, right? Just, all right, I don't have any extra gear. The reason that
with a fishing pole on his shoulder.
The reason that that my city is safe is because I have a rapport with the residents of my city, and that we all get along and trust one another. If you greet people with a certain amount of hostility, they're going to respond with a certain amount of hostility. And I think that's really where we're really going here, is like you've got this whole cyclical feeding frenzy, right? Where you've got, well, I need to be able to get into your phone or otherwise have a backdoor to your technology because of pedophiles, because of potential terrorists that are out there on the internet, because there are people that are planning to do bad things, because there are people that are legitimately bad people using the internet. But by that same logic, you can say, well, everybody has to have a government representative in the car because some people are using cars for nefarious purposes. Everybody has to have their mail looked at because some people use the mail to mail naughty pictures or drugs. Do we allow them to just look at every package? No. Right? So why are we allowing them to look at our email? Why are we allowing them to look at our phones? I guess where I'm getting at with this is that technology is a huge part of our lives. Mm-hmm. It's massive, and every day, right, there's this struggle between what law enforcement or the government wants to be able to maintain a certain grip on our digital lives, and I don't think they should have it. All right, and kudos to Apple and Google for doing things where they're saying, all right, we're going to start encrypting everything. We're going to start making things a lot harder for these entities to get in touch with your data. And I think that everybody needs to embrace this and be able to say, I don't want a product that doesn't offer me the type of encryption level that I'm looking for. I don't want a product that's not going to keep me safe from the prying eyes of the government or other people. All right, because initially, encryption was designed just to protect us from the thieves, right? But now when you think of encryption, at least in the last year, what's the first thing that pops to mind? And why am I encrypting my data? So the government isn't looking at it. And that's a wrong shift.
That's some 1984 stuff right there.
That's the shift that's wrong, all right? Because I want to return to a time where I'm worried about the thieves, where I'm worried about the people that are looking to do me harm.
The hackers?
The people that want to steal my information. But more and more, the thieves and the government are becoming the same person. And I want that to be different. I want that to be something completely different. I want to be able to say, hey, government, I trust you. And I want you to help me keep myself safe from the people that are trying to hurt me. Because that's your job. That really, you have one job. And that job is to protect me as a citizen of this country from threats. Right? And the way that you can do that is stop being the threat. And give me a real way that I can just be a happy citizen, right? And have the life and liberty and pursuit of happiness and not have to worry about just all the terrible things you read about in the news that are being perpetrated by the government. And that part just irritates me, right? I want to be able, I have to embrace this technology with all of this new encryption stuff just because I want to be able to feel safe again. I just got an instant message from the office that says, yo, the feds are here and they're asking you about this rant. Oh, man. All right, so let's go ahead and take a break, Tom, and then we'll come back and talk about happier stuff. I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Computer Guru Show. If you did, please consider sharing it with your friends and subscribing to this channel if you haven't already. Your subscription helps us reach new audiences and expand the show in new directions. Please also consider supporting us on Patreon. For as little as $1 a month, you can help the Computer Guru Show expand into a longer format, as well as support the production of new content for this channel. Links are in the description below, and thank you again. We'll see you next week.